Hello, it is me, Anime We or We Anime. I'm here to bring you part 7 of What If Deku Had an Elemental Quirk. Now, I'm gonna explain a couple things and then we can get into it. Okay. So first, I'm gonna be doing a little bit of two different arcs today. A little bit of the provisional license. Mostly the final fight, okay? Because I don't want to go through doing different like encounters with uh like civilians. Okay, I hope you get it. And then we'll get into the Shihei Hasaikai arc, raid arc. Okay. Uh, all right. And maybe Deku versus Bakugo in between that. Yeah, let's do. Yeah, that will happen. So provisional license, Bakugo versus Deku, and then it will be Shihei Hasaikai. Cool, cool. Um, happy birthday. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. I know a couple people born on this day. So happy birthday to them as well. Awooga. I don't know. I just talk and regret words later. But yeah, happy birthday if it's your birthday. Hello. Anyways, I don't know why I went like baby voice. Like, hello. Well, I don't know why, man. I don't know why. You think the people who do voice impressions, like the good ones, or do good voice impressions, just kind of like do crimes with it? Do you think they do that? Like, say you could do an Elmo voice really good. Do you think they do crimes with the like, or do the or do the adult time? I hope you know what I mean. Um, like in character voices. Do you think they do? Like, imagine Elmo, not really Elmo, but the voice of Elmo doing it with just like a lady. Just like, do you think this is the things that pop up in my head? Like right before I'm about to start recording, like these weird like things just randomly pop up. Do you think this happens? Because I sometimes do think this happens, and I kind of just want to know. Like, do you think people just hear, "Oh, Elmo really likes your thing"? That wasn't even Elmo. That was Mickey. How you doing? I don't know. I'm not good at impressions. Okay. Haha! I am here. I don't know. I'm not good at them. I don't know. That All Might one was kind of good. Haha! I am here. That got worse. I did a good Zora Ideale impression. I based it off of Johnny Young Bosch's voice in Black Clover. I can't do it anymore. It's like a one and done situation. All right, how are you? It wasn't even that good. Okay, I tried my best. That's what we can all ask for. But gotta go fast. I really want to know if they do it in like imagine Sonic saying gotta go fast. Like I can do voices. Like I can change my voice from like D&D. Like I can go way down here and then way up here, right? And then somewhere in the middle. And then I can do this and then this. Okay, I can do voices. It's just like not characters. Like I can do my own character voices. Like say you got a guy called Ray Locksworth or Lockhart, I mean, an OC I made, and I played in a like one shot, one piece D&D. Okay, he had a devil fruit. It was called Cling Cling No Me. Don't steal this idea. It was mine. It's mine. It's mine and mine. Next time O'Hara does a one piece like devil fruit thing, I want to be a part of it, and I'm gonna use Cling Cling No Me. You don't know what it is. I know what it is. But he sounded like this. No, no, that wasn't it. That was the barbarian I played. I got. I have a lot of D&D stories. It was, hey, how are you? And he kind of went, hey, how are you? He had a really gravelly voice, like, hey, my name's Ray Lockhart. Lockhart, how are you? The Piercing Star. It's my name. Well, I thought it doesn't matter. I try to do voices, not good ones by any means. Like all the girl, at least most women in my what ifs that I do impressions for, are either wow, how are you, like real seductive like voices, or like real low tone trying to like dom you or something, right? Or if they're like a happy person, they're like, how are you, man? Kind of like that. You ever had that issue when you got like this? That's not how like how are you? That's how women sound, right? At least in anime. I will say this: Goblin Slayer is the only anime to give me trauma off of the first episode, and also give me flashbacks to a reason. First episode of Goblin Slayer is trauma inducing. Okay, usually goblins are treated as like they're treated as they were, but yet not to up that scale. It's never shown in any other anime I've watched with goblins in it. It's not shown like that. Okay, okay, it's scary, but I'm still gonna watch Dungeon, not Dungeon Meshi. I do want to watch that though because Damien Haas is the main voice actor, and I love Damien Haas. Damien Haas is amazing, dude. But I'm still gonna watch Goblin Slayer. Uh, yeah. But the first episode definitely gave me trauma, and if you know, you know, it gave me trauma, and also did flashbacks. I don't want to talk about it. I know people, and I've nearly had it done to me. Okay, not nearly. It was like people are weird, man. Dude, I'm telling you. Also, I'm on X at We Anime Real. I'm there. Anyways, we don't talk about stuff. Uh, so yeah, where was I? I wasn't anywhere. We haven't even started yet. Anyways, let me get a drink of water and then we can start this. It's been 9 minutes. And usually by now I've started the episode, but no. Let's get into it. Okay, this biggest. I got Shinsedo, whatever his name is, out of there, back to the civilians. Now Todoroki and that one guy, Inasa, that's his name, I forgot. Inasa are fighting, they're not doing well. Let's jump in. Flare Slicer. Charred, fallen leaves. As Gang Orca would look over at Izuku as he would be up in the running at him with blade covered in flame. As he would say, "Flare Slicer, charred fallen leaves." He would put up his guard as multiple, uh, like it looks like leaves, but not really. It's in like the small orb, not orbs, but you get my point. Charred fallen leaves, multiple fire blast would fire off, right? Uh, Connecting with Gang Orca's gauntlets and clothes, burning them a little. Then he would say, Lichten Slicer, multi discharge, as it would be the same premise as Charred Fallen Leaves or Frozen Fallen Leaves, right? Where it would. Oh, it's a hawk. What? That's so cool. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Multiple lightning or electricity, beams, not beams, but small lightning bolts. But it would only feel like a taser, okay? Going at Gang Orca. Gang Orca would, the few that did hit him would hit him in the gauntlets. Not gauntlets, but the weights. So it didn't hurt him, but he dodged most of them as he would run towards uh, Deku, Izuku. Right. Uh, Midoriya would charge as well with what would he do? What would he do? You know what? Let's. I got an idea. He would do is as he would charge, his right foot would go into the ground. Both feet, actually no, both feet would go on the ground. He would stop as he would bring his sword in a down below, arcing up in a an arcing slash. Okay, Nodachi down to the ground. It would cause a cut in the ground as he would use Terra Slicer. Okay, Terra Slicer, as it would pull up from the ground, uh, a blade of concrete would shoot up. Not a blade, but like a slash. Okay, like in anime, how they make the wind slash. That's it. Would come up from the ground. Gang Orca would just plain out punch it. It would break, and Izuku would say, "Well, did not expect that, but I knew I had to test it somehow. Let's try to do this." Terra Slicer. Actually, no, 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 no. It would be. It's going to be a mix of Earth and gravity. Okay. So what he would do is, as he would bring it back down to the other side, he would bring it his right arm to his side, and he would swipe down at the Earth with a purple hue along the blade. As he would cut the ground, the Earth slash would pop up. It would shoot out at him, at Gang Orca again, but behind it would be, well, not behind it, but within it, it would be like a gravity field. Okay. So he would say it's going to go along with the Terra Slicer, not the Gravity Slicer. Okay. So he would say, Terra Slicer. Um, meteor meteor crash. Meteor slash? No, that would be just for the gravity. Meteor slash. This is meteor crash. Terra Slicer meteor crash. As it would bring up, as it would hit, uh, as it and Gang Orca would collide with each other, Gang Orca's arm that he caught it with would be instantly pulled down. Like he caught the earth right this time, and it would be a way heavier weight than it should be. So it would just instantly pull him down, right? Then he would let it go. But then it would float up and it would attach itself to it. And you could see Izuku's right hand just like crunch up into a ball, like into a fist, clenched fist. Okay. And as that would happen, it would wrap itself around Gang Orca's fist, weighing him down as it would gain the ball of concrete would gain weight. I'm gonna write that down. Terra Slicer, meteor, meteor crash. There we go. Hold on. I'm just gonna write down the gravity slicer to at it. Meteor slash. Okay. As Asta would, not Asta, Midoriya would step his feet out of the earth. Okay. Gang Orca would come running. He would reel back his fist with the concrete in hand, and he would hit Asta's, not Asta, but oh my gosh, it's not Asta, you idiot. It's Izuku with Izuku or Midoriya's blade. The blade would break in half, right? But Midoriya would fly back from the impact, as he would say, "Oh, what the hell, man?" He would say that in his head. He would be angry at this point, as Gang Orca would proceed to say, uh, like he would proceed to insult Midoriya's blade and himself, right? His friends, well, most like Todoroki and Inasa, but Inasa and him aren't friends. He could really care less about Inasa. But him and Todoroki are friends, right? So, fine. I'll dry you out, you oversized fish. Gale Slicer. What is that thing's name? I swear there's a name for it. I'm very tempted to just call it Dust Devil. Because, like a Dust Devil, you ever seen one of those? It's actually quite insane. Honestly. Either Dust Devil, and it will be entwined with, like, the Terra element, or, like, charred, like, wind? No. You know what? Let's just go. Uh, Gale Slicer, Dust Devil, Dust Devil. It means I'm writing it down. Okay. I got a comment recently. I don't know how to edit. Okay. I'm gonna. I'm not good at it. I'm only good with audio, and I'm barely good at that. I try to cut stuff out. I try to. I'm not good at editing, man. I'm not good. Okay, that's just fair. Like, is that fair to not be good at something? It is. I hope so. I hope you all agree. But I don't know what a disc plug is, man. Dude, I don't know anything about a computer. I don't do this off of computer either. I do this off of my phone. Through and through, I record on my phone. I edit on my phone. Uh, right. I do all of this off of my phone. I don't. I have a computer. I don't use it for this. I use it for like school and like other things like gaming. But that's it, dude. That's it. I do a lot of stuff off my phone. Okay, just I want to share that. Okay, I'm gonna share. I want to share that with you. Anyways, Gale Slicer, Dust Devil. His blade would run across the ground, picking up dust and a little bit, well, the earth. Okay, cutting through it as he would slash twice, one diagonal and one straight down. Okay, both of these slashes would connect with Gang Orca. And Gang Orca could immediately feel himself start to dry out. So immediately he would pull out the a water bottle and just pour it on himself as Midoriya would be able to prepare another attack. Flare Slicer, just the plain one. Just as he would slash, a wave of fire would just erupt from his blade. He would slash multiple times, right? And then just a regular Gale Slicer, another wind slash, not anything special, right? And eventually the time would run out. After these attacks, the time would run out, or would be close to running out. There's like only a minute left. And Gang Orca would just power through all of this, start booking it towards Midoriya. Midoriya, with his broken blade, would stand firm in place, ready. Silver Slicer. No, 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 no. Well, he would extend his blade to be the same length, right? With his silver like metal manipulation, okay? As Gang Orca would be ready to reel back his fist, you could hear someone say, I don't even know if he has. You could hear someone say, Die! As a massive explosion would would envelop both Midoriya and Gang Orca. This being Bakugo. As Bakugo would land, Midoriya would also, well, everyone would be there. He would go through, grab Midoriya, bounce out of there. Okay? Because he knew he wouldn't, the explosion didn't stop Gang Orca from attacking. Gang Orca still attacked. He still hit Midoriya. Bad. like the ultrasonic, hypersonic, like sound waves. Still got him. Okay, as Todoroki would say, flash freeze, heat wave, and then Gang Orca would be trapped. Hopefully, Midoriya would be. He would be just disorientated. Okay, it's not looking good for him. But yeah, as that would go on, the time would run out, and time for time skip. A couple of weeks later, 1 or 2 weeks would go by, right? To when Bakugo and Midoriya would be about to begin their fight. Midoriya would be wearing nothing like the original. Uh, very similar, like very similar pants to um what he wears in that his hero costume. Just it's just regular sweatpants, okay? Just baggy that stops like little bit below his knee, and in a black sweatpants that stop a little bit below his knee, and a um and I'm trying to think. The sandals, okay. Get a get a the same ones that Jiraiya wears. I know a lot of you all would know that one. Very similar sandals, unlike his like normal ones. I mean, given he does wear Geta sandals everywhere, like they're even in his hero costume. So yeah, okay. As for a shirt, he would be wearing just a regular T-shirt, just blue T-shirt. Okay, okay, and that's that. His hair would be in the same style as it was. Okay, and Bakugo would say, "Are you ready? Ready for what, Bakugo? To fight. We're fighting. Now, no, we're not." His hand would be covered with a glove, by the way, because his burns still too. They still kind of hurt. So, yeah. And plus, they had to graft his skin. So, I mean, given Dobby walks around, he wouldn't need a glove. Gloves would actually just apprehend him more, if I'm really thinking about it, because of the fact that, I mean, yeah, he doesn't have a glove. Okay, okay. If you don't remember the fact that Midoriya used Blue Flame, sort of, multiple times, it burned its skin like it did to Dobby, and they had to graft it. Uh, right. They had to do it. It's very simple. Okay, so it would be around mid forearm down, and not his fingers. Very similar to Dobby, just not staples. Okay, I mean it's not in. It's like in splotches. Like it would be one here and here, but it is only up to mid forearm. It's in splotches, kind of like a cheetah print type deal, or like a leopard spot, cheetah spot. It'd be kind of like that. Just multiple places would be burnt. Just not all of his like body, like not in that entire area. So they would start fighting. Midoriya would keep on saying, "I'm not doing this." So he would be mostly dodging all of this. Okay, he would be dodging. Just, I'm not fighting, man. Yes, we are. As Bakugo would continue and continue pulling up power and more, right? Midoriya either dodging or just using wind to just repel it. Like, he's not doing this. He doesn't want to. Bakugo, can we please stop? No, not until you fight back. We can do this as like a training thing tomorrow. No, that's too much time. You could always get stronger within the night. You are weird. Thanks, but also not that rude. Why won't you die already? Because I don't want to? Not yet. Personally, never. I'd rather be mortal. Kind of want to see how this world turns out. Same here. Ha, ha, ha. Anyways, as they continue, Midoriya dodging and dodging, okay? Eventually, Aizawa would arrive with all my. They would both come. They would see what's happening here. They know. Midoriya's dodging. They also know Midoriya enough to where they know that he won't really fight back. Like, they know their issues. Aizawa dealt with this before. So what they would do is Aizawa would cancel Bakugo's quirk and wrap him up as he would walk behind to Midoriya, put his arm around him, and say, "Do I even want to know? I mean, you'll probably have to know at this at a point." Fair enough. So go on, tell me. And Midori would explain how Bakugo went to fight, blah blah blah, and he would explain how he only dodged or moved out of the way of an attack or used wind to block it. That's all he ever did. Okay. Bakugo. I forget how long it was in canon. Was it like a week or 2 weeks? Was it a week or 2 weeks? Maybe. Maybe? Was it? It might been. I don't remember. But it would be around the same time. Midoriya only had to do 1 day. Or like one out of like the multiple days or months. I don't remember. And Midoriya wouldn't have to write an apology letter. Um, all he would have to do is honestly charge his Aizawa's like, or he would have to power his coffee maker or something, or carry around his sleeping bag while he's in it. I don't know. That's what he would do. I don't know. He would have to do something, clean up and whatever, right? He just wouldn't have to write the letter because he didn't do anything. I don't know how it works. I'm not in high school. I am in high school. This is actually my last year of school, so pretty fun. Um, um, sorry. I start to think if I have like a disorder, like not Tourette's, maybe Tourette's. I don't know. I make random noises sometimes, and I just do not know why. I don't know what that is. That would be. I just don't know what it would be, to be honest. I don't know what that is. I'm not that smart in that area of things. I just know stuff that's happened to someone that I'm close to or myself. Okay? That's all I know. Anyways, so after doing the uh, thing, he would meet Mirio at this point. He would be taking out the trash like he is in canon and meets him there. Midoriya would be not that confused or scared like in canon. He'd kind of just be like, why? Like he's quite chill about this. Like, why? What? But why? Would be his only questions. Like as he would put the trash in, he would say, "Why?" As he would turn around and the face was gone. Okay. Uh, yeah, I'm not done questioning. And then they would be told about how they could do work studies if they wanted to. Midoriya would he would be walking through the halls of the school, and well, he would meet the face again that he met yesterday, and he'd be sticking in. Well, Mirio would just walk up and say, "Hey, can we talk?" I guess. Who are you? I'm Mirio Tokita. I'm the one of the big three. I don't know what that is. Well, you don't know what the big three is? Not at all. Well, you're gonna learn since you're late to class. Wait, I am. What time is it? Oh, shit. I'm alright. Uh, oh, now there's two of you. Now there's three. Oh, right. Big three. I feel cornered. Why is he question? Mirio. Yes. Why is this one like a puppy? What do you mean? Why am I like a puppy? I don't. I don't. Did I offend you? I didn't mean to. I feel bad now. How can I atone? I feel bad. I. He's just like that. That's the Tamaki Yamajiki, and that's Nejiri Hato. Is that? She hasn't stopped talking. I can hear it though, and yeah, I can do that. Yeah, you don't. Oh, my hair? I don't know why. My eyes? Couldn't tell you. Uh, yeah, I can do a three. It can do a three, like a full 360 while stop. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It can. That's true. Um, on my quirk, elementalist, elemental body. Where like he would explain his quirk to Nedry as they would walk, right? Um, and then proceed to ask plenty questions. Like, why do you have a sword? I trained it in. Oh, what is it? It's an Odachi. It doesn't weigh. How long is it? Oh, it's well, in American terms, it's 7.8 pounds, and for like us, kilograms, it's 3.5 kilograms. The length is 70.5 inches, or well, 179 centimeters. Whoa, where do you get it? Oh, my dad. I sadly. Why do you say sadly about your dad? I don't like him. Oh, so you're like that Todoroki kid? Oh no, not at all. Well, sort of, and not at the same time. See, even though we do have similar quirks, he can only use fire and ice. I can use a lot of stuff. About the dad situation, probably. I don't know his entire story though, so I could be wrong. I mean, given he explained it a little bit, I don't know. But my switch Mahation, well, my mom passed in a villain attack. My dad moved on really quickly and started forcing me to train even harder. And even during the switching around with women, he made me train harder, and he went ballistic a lot. It's a big long story. No, I try to refuse to associate with him. The craziest thing was apparently my dad knew Stain, the hero killer. Yeah, it's quite funny. Honestly, it's quite funny. Don't know how they meet. No, I forget. Honestly, don't care. Uh, you're very. You're hurting my shoulder. Oh, I'm sorry. Um, blah 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 blah. I don't know if it can do that. I don't know how that piece of the body works. You should know. You're a woman, but I don't know. I don't have human contact besides violence. Uh, uh, I mean, maybe you can do that. I don't know. My quirk's pretty weird. I can do a lot of things. Named ultimate moves, I got a few. If we do training of sorts, since apparently you all are coming to class with me, if we do some type of training, I can show you all. Given that's how this happened. Oh, your arm? Yeah, why is it purple? Oh, well, I powered up my flames, okay, to a point where it would be red hot, like crimson color, right? That's actually another move of mine. Um, and I used wind, like I condensed oxygen within the middle of the flame and slowly released it out of the flame. Right. So that even made the fire burn hotter, and you know how flames work with oxygen, right? I hope you do. But yeah, as that happened, I condensed more oxygen within the oxygen to where it turned blue for some reason, and now has uh, burnt my arm. Whoa! Do you think you could do that with any other? I can probably, maybe with flames, I can probably condense more oxygen within it, and then to make it I don't know, a different color, like purple or something. But I don't think above that I could go on. Uh, I mean, I could probably mix other stuff, right, with other things to make it more powerful. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I never tried. Never tried to different colorate things. What about fire and lightning? Have you did that? I haven't done that yet. I mean, I have within training, but nothing in a combat situation because I think it's too dangerous. I'd only use it on a villain to see them squirm and maybe burn alive, but that's another story. What? Nothing. I'm totally okay mentally and totally physically. You don't sound okay. He really doesn't. I still feel like I should do something with the dog puppy. I'm not a dog or a puppy. Yes, you are, Tamaki. Yes, you are. I'm so confused. Don't worry, you get used to it at some point. What was your name? Midoriya. Izuku Midoriya. I told you this. Sorry, I wasn't paying a lick of attention. You look like you have no brain. What does that mean? I mean, look at his eyes. I mean, they're pretty. They're, it's sort of weird, man. It's not. Like, there's nothing normal in this world anymore, given with, like, everything. But yet you have weird eyes. You don't even look like you have pupils. Like, it's all blue. Like, your entire eye is blue. Yeah, I don't get it either. So when did we enter class? How did I move? I didn't even. I wasn't even walking. I carried you. What? I am so confused. Don't worry, we all are. I feel like that's very true. I'm gonna go sit down. Bro, what happened? Why are you late? I got stuck up with these guys. And I'm scared. I don't know how I got here. I wasn't walking. Consciously or physically. I wasn't walking, man. Whoa. That's kind of like an anime thing when they like they kind of just like appear somewhere. That's very true. And we'll time skip. It's been like 40 minutes. Let's go, dude. Anyways, so I'm gonna time skip quite a bit. Okay. Sorry, I'm stretching. Okay. So, yeah. Yeet. Skirt. Yeet, yeet, skirt, skirt. Skirt that yeet. Yeet that skirt. It's okay. It's okay. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I couldn't tell you to begin with what I was doing. How I got in this world, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. Anyways. So, as we would begin, we. Okay, I'm gonna go straight into the meeting. Actually, see, there's so much stuff that happens within the overhaul arc, right? The raid arc. She's Hasaikai, right? It's such a a numbing arc to me because how much happens in it, right? Because at first you meet Aryan, well, overhaul or Kai Chizuki or overhaul, right? Mirio and first you meet Night Eye, okay? Well, or technically the big three, and then Night Eye, and then Overhaul and Airy, and then the other heroes. Well, Fat Gum, like right, and then that one villain, and then you go on. You get introduced about the trigger drug, right? That's been there for multiple years, and it gets brought back up in Vigilantes. That's set 5 years before the canon of My Hero, or multiple, I think 5 to 7 years before canon of like actual My Hero Academia Midoriya's story, right? Before, yeah, okay. So after that happens, you meet the other heroes of like of the alliance, I guess you could say it, the other heroes helping with the raid, right? And then you go on to meet Overhaul's like 9 bullets, or how many? 8 bullets, 9 bullets, or one of the two. And then you meet them again within uh the battle itself. It's such a mind numbing thing. It's quite confusing, honestly, to me. Sorry. Right. You get my point, though. Sorry, I'm getting gum. So, as you... Okay, I'm gonna go at the either meeting or start of battle. I don't know yet. Why are we bringing kids into this? Because, well, they wouldn't listen either way. They are heroes on this battlefield with us, right? I don't know, they're still kids to me. And that's what they can be. Do whatever you want, Rocklock. You can be however you want, Rocklock. But we are doing this together. Alright. So we will time skip. With all the heroes out front, with the guy with the warrant, right? He'd be yelling as the big guy would come through, start beating on guards. Midori would actually move at this point. He would jump in the air and he would do something. He would say, Terra Slicer, meteor crash. There would be something different. In his left hand, there would be a bunch of like rock. As he would throw it up, it would start to. He would throw it at the sword. As he would say this, a big chunk of concrete. Okay, he would have it in his hand. It would be thrown at his sword, as it would entirely coat the blade. As he would slash, meteor crash. Okay, as that would happen, it would connect with the big guy in his chest, or actually up close to his like neck area. It would hit. It would kind of cut a little. It would cause a slash, but then it would start to mold into a collar, like around him, like a necklace of sorts, and it would weigh down. Like he could feel it, like pushing him down into the ground. He would yell out, "What is happening to me? What is this thing?" As he would try to like move it or break it, but as he would try to break it, it wouldn't move. Like he would be able to stick his thumb under it, and he would be able to like lift it up a little bit, but then it would just stick to his thumb. So he would rip his hand out of the glove, and this is how it was. Okay, this is how it is. It would be sticking like uh like sewing itself within, like on his body, so he can't rip it out unless he wants to injure himself. So he's gonna be like he's uh I forget the word for it. But he has one hand down, I guess, to say. But the heroes have the upper hand against him because he'll be slower. Uh, he'll get tired quicker, and so on and so forth. As Ryuku would start handling him. They would they would start their fight as everyone else would run in, dealing with the villains slash members of the Shihei Sasakai in the actual courtyard. Right. As they would continue on, they would meet two other guys. The Centipede and Bubble Girl would deal with them, right? And then they would be dropped into a hole, uh, right, where they meet the three of those three villains in that like room. Aizawa would knock out the one guy, cancel his quirk, and do what he would do in canon. As Tamaki would be again, well, would fight the other two, right? They would fight him as the rest would move on down the corridor. They would eventually go through and go through. Mirio by this point would go ahead. Eventually, they would the room would start to warp. Right. Then Fat Gum and Kirishima would be knocked in that room, same as Canon, trying to get rid of Aizawa. But Fat Gum would push him out of the way as Kirishima would jump ahead. And Fat Gum and Kirishima would go against Rappa and the Forced Field guy. I don't remember his name. Nor do I care about his name. I don't like him. He's a prick. Anyways, they would continue down into the halls of this mansion maze type deal, right? As they would follow down, they would eventually find multiple villains. Not multiple villains. They would be trapped within the corridors, and Aizawa would pull Midoriya to one way, as Rocklock would be alone, and then Toga would do her thing, and then as the things would as Midoriya would break it down, Toga would tries to take out Midoriya. Midoriya would block the knife as Aizawa would kick her, right? And blah 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 blah. Okay, but you get my point. It would be very similar to in canon. Until they would get to where Mirio, Overhaul, and Chrono is. See, as they would make it there, as they would make it to where Mirio is, he already had gotten his quirk stolen. Okay, as they would enter, or not stolen, but deleted by the quirk deleter round, right? But as the other heroes would enter in, Night Eye would run over to Eri and Mirio, Lemillion, right? And they would crap. Well, Aizawa would cancel Overhaul's quirk, right? As Midoriya would move in. Rocklock would be left behind, as in canon. Midoriya would move in, right? he would say, Wave Slicer, Aqua, uh, oh no, oh yeah, that's a way better name. Aqua Slicer, Sea, Coral, no, mm, why would I do water? He's trying to take the man out. Licton Slicer, there. Just plain Licton Slicer. Overhaul would move out of the way. Midoriya would say, Man, just let me hit you and let's just get this over with. And then, ding! Oh wow, huh, ain't this a... You can't change anything. You don't get your quirk. What is your quirk? Elemental body. And he would begin to tell him his quirk. Because by this point, he has merged himself with that one guy. Right? With the confession quirk guy. He's already merged himself with him by this point. So, yeah, there's no, like, he would tell him about his quirk, everything in and out. Good, 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 good. Chrono, on it. And him and Aizawa would fight down below. Okay. Then Midoriya and Overhaul would scruffle. Okay, they would fight. Okay, just left, right hands. I don't know. But Overhaul would use the ground to his advantage, making the spikes going at Midoriya. But Midoriya can just go underground. Bro just sinks into the ground as the spikes would go through, and he would go to Night Eye. He would pop up, and Night Eye, well, he would say, Hey, I can get you all out of here. I can distract them. I made a path down here so that you all can't be seen. So he would open up the hole wider, and it would be a path where they would have to crawl through, right? They would have to crawl through this passageway to actually get out. Like it would have to be on like a tummy crawl, right, to actually get out. Which Night Eye would put Eri down first. She would go through, and then Mirio would have to go here, there. Night Eye would go behind, bringing them all through. As Midori would pop up out of the ground, and he would say, Hey, Overhaul, I'm over here. And he would be standing on a spike in distance from Overhaul. Overhaul changing the ground again, changing it to a flat ground as he would run through at Midoriya. Midoriya would jump high as he would say, Wave Slicer, Electric Eel. Yeah, just Wave Slicer, Electric Eel. As he would slash, a long eel-shaped like thing would shoot out from the blade as he would slash. Electricity would be in this. You could see it spark here and there. And as it would connect with Overhaul, you could see him shock. Just like tense up, like he would tense up, and that would allow Midori to move in even quicker, and well, it would give him a free opening. So what would happen is, as he would run through, uh, as he would go through, his arm would go full metal. His left, no, he would switch sword arms. So his sword is in his left, his Nodachi is in his left, and his right hand arm would go full metal as he would say, "Silver hammer, silver tonfa," as boom, right on the front of his face, Midoriya's forearm and like, well, forearm would just crack into Overhaul's face. Just boom, Overhaul would be sent flying, and he would stand back up, eventually finding his balance. As Midori would say, "Flare flash, crimson color," as he would a massive like fire wave of a dark crimson fire would go tunneling towards uh, Overhaul, which he would change to the ground and put a wall of stone, concrete, whatever, in front of him. As Midoriya would rock up even more, or he would come charging, he would jump up high as the big guy and Ryuku would crash into the ground, crash through the ceiling of this cavern. They would both be distracted. Probably the worst time for Midori to be distracted at this. He would look up as Overhaul would make a spike or a pillar, a pillar, just shoot up from the ground, hitting Midoriya, shooting him up and having him just collide with the ceiling of the cavern. As he would fall, he would crash to the ground, and Overhaul would say, "Finally, you have been ridden of the world. Izuku Midoriya. I don't care, you can throw my name wherever. But to say I'm done is the worst thing you've ever said." As Overhaul would attempt to escape, spikes would go flying at Ryuku. She would use her wings to block it from uh, Oraka, Tsuyu, and Nejire. But that was unneeded as Midori would come flying through. As his sword would erupt in a blue flame, he would say, "Flare Slicer, Blue Star!" As he would slash, blue flame would go. He would slash again with another blue star, and again, making a star out of his flame slashes. As it would cut through, well, melt through, you get my point, but cut/melt through the spikes entirely. As Midori would slide in front, uh, him being busted open and his blood going down the front of his face and the back of his head, arms, his clothes are torn. Midori would say, "You're not done with me, are you? I was just having fun." He would say, "You three, four, I don't know. There's injured in the back. The girl's there too. Oh, and Overhaul would say, "All right, Airy." As he would turn around, he would change the ground to to his bidding. At this point, spikes would go toward Night Eye. Well, to the direction he last saw Night Eye and Mirio and Airy. As Overhaul would say, "If I can't have her, no one will." Spikes would go flying through the wall. Night Eye would be across the wall, and luckily a little bit down the hallway. Because if he was still at where the hole was where Midoriya created, him, Mirio, and Eri would have been skewered. They would have been offed, okay? And Midoriya would say, "You really suck at aiming." "Oh, really?" As a spike would go flying to Midoriya. Midoriya would slash it in half with the blue flame still on his sword. But multiple pillars, spikes of earth would just, well, one would go through his calf, one would go, his left calf, one would go through on the other side because it would be like surrounding him. One would go through his leg, one would go through his his left forearm, no, left bicep, and it would miss and it would graze Midoriya's torso and back, missing his head and his right arm. He would say, "Aren't you a little antsy with your attacks?" As he would say, "Lifting call, dragon's ascent, descent, descent." I said descent. I meant to say decent. See what would happen. I don't know how to spell decent. Decent. That is not how you spell it, apparently. I will figure that out later. That will be corrected. Uh, Wait a second. Is it a C instead of an S? I believe it is. Decent. Decent. Yeah, it is. Dragon's Descent. As he would raise his sword high, and then he would throw it like a spear at Overhaul. Luckily, it went through his leg, his right leg, as you could hear lightning or thunder cracking through the air. And then you could hear a roar of thunder as a lightning bolt shaped like a dragon would come flying through the hole made, as Midori would say, "You guys need to duck." Ryuku would go as low as she could, still in her dragon form. The dragon shaped lightning bolt would go through it, and it would lock onto his sword. And it would bite down, shocking and tearing off that leg, shocking Overhaul and biting down on that leg, taking it off. Overhaul would scream within the air. His scream would be heard by Chrono, Aizawa, Night Eye, Mirio. Well, Mirio would probably be knocked out, unconscious by this point, right? But yeah, it would be heard throughout the maze, right? The labyrinth, I guess you could say. Oh, that's a good title, Labyrinth. I'm gonna call it that's the name of the episode now. You already knew this, but I'm still deciding that. And Midori would say, "How's that, you oversized bird?" I am not done yet. He would then reassemble himself with the leg still there. The leg is there again, and he would run. He would slap the big guy, and he would merge with him, reassemble himself, and he would regrow into a huge monstrosity above ground. Midori would say, I gotta, ugh, damn, that hurt. His left arm would go full metal as he would just hit down and break the rest of the like things that was holding him in the air. As I really wish I had my sword, but so be it. He would begin to climb out. He would jump and then use wind on wherever he could to just move himself into up on above the ground. And he would say, as he would reach ground, Ryuku, no, Ryuku would say, "You, you three, check on the others. I'll follow Midoriya." As she would fly up above ground, reaching Midoriya and seeing Midoriya in the air again. And a bunch of fire would be in his palm or above him, up on his back, somewhere he would be storing it. He would be doing the same thing that he was with the blue flame, condensing oxygen within the flame and adding more flame, more oxygen, more flame, more oxygen. And he would say, "Flare order! Phoenix flare!" As he would throw the flame and it would reshape into a phoenix. As the phoenix would get closer to Overhaul, it would explode, engulfing Overhaul within blue, dark red, crimson colored flame. Blue and crimson colored flame would engulf Overhaul. And then as it would engulf him, it would explode again into purple flame. Overhaul would be screaming in pain, trying to reassemble himself as quick as he could, quicker than the burn, quicker than the fire would destroy him. Midori would begin to fall, but yet he could tell that he was not down. Midori would say, "Wave order!" Name. Crap, I need to think of a name. Wave order! Poseidon's, Poseidon's, swirling tsunami. A massive swirl of water, a spiraling cannon of water would shoot out of Midoriya's, like, both of his palms. It would hit Overhaul with such impact that it would just immediately knock him out. Just nearly cave in his chest. It would break a couple of ribs multiple bones in his like arms and legs from where it just happened with such impact. It would knock him out instantly, and also put out the fire that was still lit him on fire. It would put out the fire, and Midoriya would fall. Ryuku would catch him in her claws as he she would detransform. That Nejire and Night Eye would, well, Nejire holding Night Eye would get up there. Night Eye would go running to Midoriya. Nejire as well. Night Eye already defeated Chrono Stasis, whatever his name was. He defeated him. So Tamaki, well, Ochako and Suyu are checking on Mirio and Aizawa. Okay. I'll do the name here in a second. So as they would run up to Midoriya, Midoriya would be, I need water so bad. Is there water? His mouth, his entire body, it wouldn't be entirely depleted of water, since you do need water to actively live. From what my understanding is, your body is 80% made of water, or some high percent of your body is made of water. So he would be quite, like, he needs water. And probably some food and a nap from what he just withstand, and plus the fact that he still does have multiple spikes of rocks within his arm and legs, probably ain't doing much for his health. So Nejire would say, I'll get him to the hospital. You all, or to the medics. I'll get him to the medics, as she would lift him up from Ryuku's grasp. Like, she was holding him up so that he would still be like, he was semi-awake. So, as Nejire would fly over and get him to medical attention, there would be, well, not really ended, but eventually he would fall unconscious, and they would get him to the closest hospital with Mirio and multiple other heroes within that situation. Okay? So eventually Midoriya would be allowed to leave. Well, he would be transferred to UA and to their medical bay. Right? The heroes that was a part of it would either send something or actually visit. Night Eye would visit, Ryuku would visit, Fat Gum would visit, Rocklock would actually visit as well. Visit him. Okay? Saying thank you. Thank you for helping. Thank you for everything else. And Midori would say to all of them, thank you for believing in me. And to Night Eye, thank you for letting me go in that labyrinth. Oh man, I got something to rub. He would just say this to, like, say for the other students that would visit him within this medic bay. He would say, "Now I got something to rub in your face, cat." I took out a big bad. Oh, I'm in pain still. Yeah, and look at what happened to you. No, it was worth it, man. When are you gonna take your time to shine in the spotlight? What do you mean? I've always been shining. Yeah, you sure have. But you can't say you've been in a labyrinth like I have. Oh man, that thing was hell. Ugh. Anyways, yeah, that's where I'm gonna end here for today, folks. Uh, I'm gonna get that written down. Poseidon swirling tsunami. I'm gonna get that written down, and I'm gonna get this uploaded. And yeah, after this. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for sticking around into this video. If you do, even if you come back, thank you for watching. Thank you all for subscribe. Please like, comment, subscribe. Please share this with your friends if they like anime. And happy birthday to whoever, whenever you watch this. Happy birthday. Uh, anyways, it's been me, We Anime or Anime Wheat. You can go follow me on X and Instagram if you haven't already. Both at We Anime. Uh, well, We Anime Real for X and We Anime at Instagram. I don't post a lot on Instagram, but I have that. It's there if you want to go follow me. Yeah. Thank you all for watching. Once again. Uh, sorry about the background noise. Sorry about that. But anyways. Roll the dice, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.